Hey, what's up, you awesome dudes? Craze here, and No Man's Sky is getting a brand new patch. It's available on the experimental branch if you want to go ahead and check it out, but later on today it's going to drop for everybody else. So let's see what actually has changed, because yesterday Hello Games came in with this message saying that the experimental branch has been updated, that there is a number of fixes, and that this is going to be the biggest update yet. So of course I went ahead, I updated my Steam, and indeed it does fix a lot of the problems, and there's a few other ones more obscure in there as well that we're going to go over in just a bit. So let's jump right in, and of course a thumbs up on this video would also be super appreciated. One of the first fixes that I was really glad happened was for the bug that prevented portal glyphs from being learned from traveler interactions, and this is something that many of you guys have raised, and the fact that after the second or the third glyph you couldn't learn any more glyphs no matter how many travelers you would speak to. And this is actually a bug that keeps recurring every big update that Hello Game drops. So hopefully with the experimental branch this gets fixed once and for all. But if you cannot wait for this to happen, if you're really close to finishing the main storyline, then you can go ahead and do that in the meantime, as that one is not bugged and it will reward you all of the 16 portal glyphs in the game. But yeah, if you don't really care about that, you can wait a little bit longer and just wait for the patch to go out. Another big one is the fact that they finally added the missing base parts to the construction research unit on the space anomaly, and of course this involves the light box, the noise box, as well as the sphere creator. This is something that was missing in the base game previously. It was only available for some reason in the creative mode, but this has now been added and you can go ahead and invest your salvage data into that and purchase and even build them if you want to. I've tested this on the experimental version and it is definitely over there. Another important one is for the issue causing snapping problems with the landing pads, and in fact this was quite a big of a problem because the landing pad has changed in size quite a bit to fit the new ships, and this made it so that it's really hard to attach it to pretty much anything in the game. Well, I did go ahead and test this out on the experimental branch and they definitely made it much better. I mean, I can attach it now to pretty much anything. It snaps into place much easier than ever before, and even to base parts that previously were unsnappable with. So definitely a very good change, and finally I can add it to my base. So there you have it. There's even a couple of landing pads that I have added over here just to showcase how easy it now is on the experimental branch. But these are not the only quote-unquote snapping slash placement issues that have been fixed in the newest update. There's also a number of them fixed for the medium refiners, as well as for the issues that only occurred during multiplayer. So if you had a multiplayer mission that involved base building with another player, you probably had a few snapping issues over there as well, but those have been resolved in the newest update too. Anyway, let's move over to the fact that Hello Games finally fixed the planetary north and south pole markers to be invisible. So now when you check the top middle section of your screen, you can actually see where the north and the south is. I also tested this on the new update and they definitely appear, and this should make navigation much easier. Another one is for the freighter hyperdrive upgrades. As many of you already know, they used to cost way too many freaking salvage modules, like 300 for each of these single hyperdrive upgrades, and that has been readjusted in the new update to cost 4 for the first one, 8 salvage modules for the second one, and finally 12 salvage modules for the last one. So that should put you at exactly 24 frigate salvage modules just to get these. So that should take you about 30 minutes of just straight out farming other NPC frigates, and you'll be able to get these really easy. Also, we have fixed an issue that caused the teleporter on the space anomaly not to show screenshots of available bases. I did actually test this one out, and unfortunately I couldn't see any new screenshots. It's just that I believe players, or most players, don't actually take screenshots of their bases to display it on the Nexus. So there it is. At the moment I cannot test if this was actually fixed or not, because I couldn't find any bases that were displaying any screenshots. Another important one is the fact that they have attempted to restore lost freighters to save games that were affected by the freighter deletion bug. If you had this problem in the past, hopefully the new update is going to fix it, but as it might imply, it's just an attempt, it might still not work. So go ahead and report down below if after the new update you are still seeing your freighter being lost and you are unable to get it back. Then there's also a fix for the crash that could occur when deleting legacy base parts. I'm pretty sure many of you guys guys have come up with this issue and have posted it for quite some time now, so finally it's getting addressed. Adjusted the rendering settings to improve stability in dense areas on the PC version of the game. Now I did test this out and it is indeed true that the game is more stable in dense areas, though I need to do a little bit more testing because I'm pretty sure one of the previous updates in fact kinda caused a few performance issues, at least for me. It was definitely in regards to the VR update, but I'm going to go over that a little bit towards the end of this video. Anyway, there's a lot of other changes in here as well. There's increased power for the Blaze Javelin, for the Infra Knife Accelerator. There's also removed debug information from photo mode screenshots, so this is not going to be the case anymore. When entering the photo mode in the new update, you will no longer see much of the text that existed on the bottom left corner of the screen, and instead you will now only see the portal coordinates of that location. So that is pretty awesome. You're no longer gonna see the long string of data that used to be over there, just the nice little portal coordinates. Anyway, there's a lot more on top of this, including a fix for a number of input issues that were causing the free scaling and rotating of base parts to be unavailable. But unfortunately, this will require users with custom bindings to rework their settings. Another one is for the issue that was causing players in non-Euclid galaxies to lose or even fail to add teleport destinations. Luckily enough, even though I am in Azentem, this never affected me. Moving on though, fixed a number of issues with the Refiner UI, including the increase and decrease amount buttons not working. I did test this out and it finally works. You can adjust the increase or decrease of your stack size with W and S on your keyboard, and it does definitely work now. Previously, if you did that, even though it would show that you increase or decrease your actual stack size, when you would put it in the refiner, it still went with the full stack size that you had in your inventory. But this was fixed and you can make as many adjustments as you want to from the same UI without having to go back into the inventory, so definitely a bug slash quality of life change. And the final changes include improvements to the messaging when completing a mission at the Nexus to make it more clear where you will be when you exit the space anomaly. There's also a couple more fixes for the space anomaly, including of course a number of visual issues with the space anomaly teleporter UI, including tidying the presentation of mission icons, fixed a number of issues around entering and exiting the space anomaly while on a Nexus mission, made a number of cosmetic improvements to the automated creature milking, made the HUD markers for players in your group consistent colors, fixed an issue where the base overseer would not start automatically in creative mode after placing a terminal, fixed a number of cases of incorrect text when viewing faction rewards from the mission board, fixed an issue where depots in gag systems had an incorrect number of hit points, and of course added a specific HUD marker for biological horrors. And there's a ton more fixes coming up, so of course Hello Games has been on that grind for the better part of the past 2 weeks ever since the game came out, and there's a total of 15 current patches already going live, with the most recent one being the number 16, and the previous 2 patches in fact even brought in a ton of very awesome optimizations for the VR, so I definitely enjoyed that. It definitely changed a whole bunch of stuff even for my Rift S, so definitely a ton of stuff coming up. In their recent development update, they even announced that once all of the critical issues are resolved, there's going to be a lot more improvements to functionality, gameplay and performance, so definitely stay tuned for that, because Beyond is going to be even better. And soon enough we should be getting the multiplayer missions or the community missions, as they now seem to not be in the game. There's definitely going to be a lot of stuff that has to be added. The trailer showed character players with the new features from all of the aliens that can be seen on the space anomaly, so that should make its way, all of it, into the community vendor, and hopefully that will happen very soon. But that is it for the day. This is the big update coming up. Probably is going to be 2.10, because by the looks of it, it's absolutely massive, one of the biggest so far, if not straight out the biggest. Anyway, let me know down below if there's any issues that you still encountered that haven't yet been covered in any of these patches. Comment down below, and in the meantime also don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more awesome content like this, and activate the notification bell, as that would be super appreciated, and I will see you guys in the next one, so peace out.